In this video, I wanted to talk about what to do if you've made a load of cash from AMC, GameStop, Dogecoin, Safemoon, whatever. Because I know that there's been a lot of madness with everything that I've just mentioned, and the markets are going up, down, blah, blah, so people will be making a lot of money. But even if you haven't made a lot of money, there's potential that you can learn something from this video, so don't run away, please. And although I'm not a financial advisor, I do have a degree in accounting and finance, so I hope that explains why I'm talking about it. But please do your own research before investing any of your money. P.S. Before we start, I actually decided to keep the moustache or grow a moustache as a good luck charm for this video, because I saw that another YouTuber, Matt Brighton, has actually got a moustache and he's been getting tons and tons of views, so hopefully that happens to me. For context, he's got around 750,000 views in the last month, which is around 5 or 6 grand, so I could do with that. So anyway, let's say that you've just logged into your brokerage, crypto platform, whatever, and you see there's hella green. You somehow managed to game the system and make a load of money. Obviously you have to bear in mind that you don't actually make any money until you sell, but you know what I mean. So what is the first thing you need to do? Well, the first thing you need to do is take a breath. A lot of people might be like, let's sell immediately, let's get out, let's go. Ooh, we're running off into the sunset. But it's really important that you remember the impact of the decision you're about to make, especially in terms of taxes. So before selling, just make sure you take that deep breath and understand how much you're going to have to put aside after you've done this in order to pay your taxes. This is so that you don't plan to buy your Lambo tomorrow once that you've actually withdrawn your money and realise you're going to have to sell your Lambo because you've got to pay taxes on that income. Obviously, in most situations, there is capital gains tax allowance, which is $12,300 at the moment. However, if you've made more than that in total gains, then you will definitely have to pay tax on it. So once you've had that breather and you've actually sold out, you should take another big, deep breath. This is because emotions will take over. You'll be like,
oh my god, I've never seen so much money in my life. I'm gonna go splash the cash on a Lambo.
And while you think that might be a good idea right now, it's definitely a good idea to wait maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even a year, just to see where your head's at after that period of time. Because there will definitely be better alternatives for keeping that money than buying a Lambo. So the next thing you should do is actually ask for help. You must be careful who you actually ask and who is good to trust, because you may need to hire someone to help you. So for example, you may need to hire a tax accountant to help you with the tax that you're going to pay, or maybe saving some tax. On top of this, you may need to hire a financial planner, which will help you put that lump sum somewhere special and somewhere safe and somewhere that will help it grow. And if you don't hire any of those and you decide to do it on yourself, you should still sit down with someone and speak to someone who maybe has been in the same situation, or someone who's had more life experience than yourself, just to know what they would do in this situation. Obviously, you don't have to follow their advice, and you should definitely do your own research. However, it is good to speak to people about these things because they might have some invaluable advice that may help. But you need to make sure that you trust these people, because money brings vultures. So you need to beware of long lost friends. If possible, make sure you don't share your newfound riches, newfound wealth, whatever you want to call it. But if you do, you need to beware of these long lost friends, because Jim, who you sat next to in Year 7 French, is not your ami. He's a vulture. Sorry, Jim. Because at the end of the day, if you do want to help people, you have to help yourself first. So it's like being on a plane, you need to put your mask on first so you don't die, so you can help children that can't reach. If you're in a better financial place, then you'll be able to help more people and avoid the vultures that are coming at your ankles. And that brings me perfectly onto the next point, which is keep your day job. So how this relates, you may be like, does that really relate? But what I mean is, don't hand your notice in until you know how long this money will actually last. Because the thing is, in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you don't want to end up in the same situation you were in last week. So you just really have to be clear about your goal. So what do you want to do with this money? What are your 3 priorities? Is it helping people, buying a house, sending your kids to fancy schools? Whatever it is, you need to identify these, and therefore all of your decisions going forward can be related to them goals. So you're more likely to achieve them if you are focused on actually achieving them. So that's all well and good, but where do you actually start? By reducing your debt. If you have any debt, then you need to get rid of this first. It'll be the most freeing experience that you've ever had, and you'll be like,
Why have I not done this before?
And you can actually take advantage of the compounding effect in a positive way. So before, with debt, it tends to compound in a negative downward spiral, but you can take advantage of compounding in an upward trend and growing your wealth. And you're going to do this by investing for your retirement. Whether that is through a personal pension or my weapon of choice, which is a stocks and shares ISA, then either way, you need to be doing it, and it needs to be one of the main priorities of basically keeping this money. And I would say you need to invest the majority of this money into your retirement or into an asset that will bring you cash. Probably the most sensible way of doing this would be to invest in an index fund or an ETF that tracks a certain market. My market of choice is the S&P 500, which includes the biggest 500 companies in the USA. And the USA tend to have the biggest companies in the world, so for me, that's the best bet and the safest bet for me. But that's just my opinion, so make sure you do your own research. For me, this is arguably the most important step, because although you've come into a lot of money, you need to make sure that it lasts. Because it is true what they say about the rich get richer. And the reason for this is because they live off their investments. So every year they take a little bit out of their investments, but not enough so that it doesn't continue to grow. So it continues to grow every year, and they take, for example, 3% out, but it's growing 7%. So they've still got that little bit in there that's growing and growing and growing. So effectively, they just stay that rich or they get richer. So it's nice to be richer, isn't it? Let's get there, boys and girls. And this is really why they can afford to buy a jet, a Lambo, because some years they just make so much money that they might as well splurge. They can't spend it quick enough, effectively, and that is a mad place to be, which a lot of people won't get to, but you can only dream. A boy dreamed a dream. Don't know what song that is, but but anyway, that's it from me. That has been what you should do if you have made loads of cash from AMC, GameStop, Safemoon, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, anything, the lottery, whatever. And I hope that's helped. Hope it's given you some value, even if you're maybe not made loads of money yet. But yeah, if you have any questions, please do let me know in the comments. And if you want some free stocks, then the links will be in the description. And I'm not a millionaire, but I'm trying to help you become one. So, peace. In this video, I wanted to talk about how